Well, good morning. As we get into Galatians chapter 6 today, I think what you'll begin to see is what does the love of the Spirit look like in the life of a believer? And the answer is God's love is shown in us when we begin to serve and care for other people, particularly those who are in trouble or who are caught in sin. God has not called us to condemn or to cast out those that are engaged in sinful activities, called us to pursue and to love. Look at Galatians 6:1. Brothers, if anyone is caught in any transgression or in any sin, you who are spiritual should restore him in a spirit of gentleness. You know, the calling here is for the church to be the church. That we have been called to care for and to look out for other people, even if they are engaged in things that we don't approve of or we don't agree with. We still must learn to love them. Jesus said this in John 13:34 and 35. Jesus said this. He said that by this will all men know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another. What Christ was saying is that the hallmark of the church is love for other people. That how are you going to know whether I'm truly who I say I am? You're going to know whether I'm really a believer by watching how I treat other people, particularly those who are in a difficult situation. In John chapter 17, let me read you this prayer. This is Christ praying for you. This is Christ praying for His church. He said, I do not ask for these only, but also for those who will believe in me through the word, that they will be one, just as you and I, the Father, are one, that they may be one in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. Now, two things in the verses. In John 13:34 and 35, he says, by this will all men know you are my disciples if you love one another. What Christ was saying was the very thing that is going to show that we are truly believers is our love for other people. And then he also says in John 17 that it's going to be through our unity, through the church's unity, that the world's going to know that Christ was sent from the Father. You need to recognize that your treatment of other people is a direct reflection of your true understanding of the gospel. That if you and I truly understood what Christ had done for us, we would love other people. The second thing you need to know is this, that in your life, either you are going to fall into sin or somebody you know is going to fall into sin. And we, as the called out people of God, have been called to come alongside those who are struggling and to call them back to unity with Christ. What is your first reaction when you find out that another person is caught in sin? Is it anger and animosity, or is it love and compassion? My hope and prayer for you today is that you would recognize that God has called you to extend His love, not only to those who agree with you, but maybe to those who are struggling and who are captured in their sin. And you would see that your calling is to come along beside them, call them to accountability, confront them with the truth, and pull them out of whatever it is that they're called into so that they can be restored to unity with Christ. And my hope would be that they would do the same thing for you.